The president has repeatedly promised his White House construction project is going to cost you, the taxpayer, nothing. So why are Senate Republicans now trying to get $1 billion, $1 billion added to a funding bill for the new ballroom? Joining us, professor of economics and public policy at the University of Michigan and host of the new series Platypus Economics, Justin Wolfers, Molly Jong-Fast, David French, still with us. David, what's the deal with this? Senate Republicans are trying to sneak this through in reconciliation, am I right?
Well, he wants tangible physical legacies here. He wants an arch, for example. He wants a ballroom. He wants a big giant island called Greenland. I mean, this is something that this is his quest for this sort of the tangible physical legacy. Now, remember, he's a real estate guy. He likes tangible physical things. And so he wants a ballroom. And look, I don't necessarily have an objection in principle to the idea of a White House ballroom. I don't think it's by its very nature a bad idea. But one thing that you can absolutely count on Trump to do is take what is a okay idea, a decent idea, or maybe even a good idea, and just butcher it and do it in the worst possible way. So here you have the standard sort of Trump playbook. We're going to promise something, we're going to overpromise, we're going to underdeliver, and then at the end of the day, he still wants what he wants, and he's going to go to the taxpayer for it. So, but one thing, Katie, that's kind of surprises me, and compared to a war in Iran, compared to the crises of a constitution, of the rule of law internally here at home, the ballroom is like a rounding error on a rounding error in importance. But I feel like it really has resonated with people in part because of that tangible physical idea. To watch it get wrecked, to watch a wing of the White House get wrecked, and then to watch all this sort of Carnival Barker promotion around this ballroom, it is sticking with people in an interesting way. It's a tangible expression of sort of the corruption and chaos of this administration.
Yeah, this administration is saying to people, we can't give you subsidies, extend your subsidies on health care. We can't afford it. We can't lower your gas prices because we've gone to war and it's worth it. Just wait. And now I just think it's surprising that Senate Republicans would try to put $1 billion into an immigration bill, $1 billion with a B. That seems like a gift to the Democrats when they're campaigning, especially with Americans as upset as they are about economics and the cost of living. And they're blaming, by the way, the Trump administration and Republicans.
Yeah, and you had Brian Schatz saying he was excited to watch Senate Republicans have to up or down $1 billion ballroom because they will have to vote on this. And if you're Dan Sullivan in the state of Alaska and you're running against Mary Patola and you're already seeing that she's winning in the polls, now you have to vote that you approve a $1 billion ballroom for Donald Trump. If you're a Democrat, you're seeing this and you're like, keep this in the news cycle. And if you're a Republican, you're like, stop talking about this ballroom.
So then why did they add it?
Because this is Trump's Republican Party, and what Trump wants, Trump gets, even if it's not politically smart.
All right. Justin, explain why people might be bristling at the $1 billion it will cost to secure this ballroom, why they might be bristling at all the gold and the filigree that Donald Trump is adding and promoting, as David said, like a Carnival Barker. Give me the facts.
Katie, you look like you might be bristling right now. I get it.
I'm cold. It's very cold in this studio. They keep it like literally negative 30 degrees in here. That's mostly why my hands are crossed. Molly's very, very tight, too.
Look, there's the $1 billion. David French was exactly right. Very responsible. It's easy to whine, but actually the point is $1 billion in the scope of an economy as big as the United States is not that big. So then the question really, it's $3 per person. $3 you might not want to spend, but it's not that much. But there's a question of what this represents. And actually, I think there's a really important metaphor here in two really important respects. Anyone who's ever been on the White House grounds knows what the White House actually needs is office space. It needs lots of places for thoughtful advisors to be able to do their work, and it's an incredibly cramped space. You've got very senior people working in tiny little cupboards. What you have, though, here is a White House where policy is made by mood and dictate of one person. They have no need for advisors' advice and process. And so, it's a crazy thing to think the thing we need there is a ballroom. The second really important metaphor here is, you know what? someone came and knocked over the east wing of the White House in October with no legal power to do so. And then they walked away, bored.
Also with no
like
warning.
They fell asleep in front of the TV. Does this remind you at all of a trade war or an Iran war? We start these projects, they never go anywhere.
I mean, that's a good point. The White House says the private donations will still be used for the ballroom, and they distinguish the money coming from Congress as funds for DHS and the Secret Service for security purposes regarding the overall East Wing modernization project, which they say is more than just the ballroom. So again, Justin, to you, tell me about the economics that people are facing in this country. Gas prices are high, mortgage payments are high, they're not coming down. Like, what is the overall picture right now?
Yeah, so this, I think, is the heart of your point, Katie, and you're absolutely right. I rant about other things, but it's the juxtaposition between folks doing it hard right now because grocery prices are at an all-time high. Every grocery except eggs, of course. Let's only talk about eggs. Gas prices are unbelievably high. People are struggling with the cost of living. We had a president who came to power suggesting he was going to address the cost of living as the first thing he did. Instead, he raised tariffs. Instead, he attacked the Fed. Instead, he started a foreign war that he didn't need to start. And the one that really gets me is did not renew the Obamacare subsidies. And so that means literally millions of Americans can't afford healthcare right now. $1 billion is not a lot when you think about it from the country as a whole. But if you think about just the moral responsibility that comes with holding the people's money, and could that billion be better spent elsewhere? And has that thought even occurred to anyone? I think that's the juxtaposition that really burns.
Justin, I always love having you. Thank you so much for joining me. Molly, it's also really good to have you. And I'm going to plug your book, How to Lose Your Mother, A Daughter's Memoir, in paperback now. Oh, here, I'm going to show it right here. It really spoke to me, and I think if anyone has not read it yet, the paperback is a great option. Molly, thank you. Here it is. Oh, well, they were zooming in again. David, don't go anywhere. I'm sorry. This TV thing, it's all very new to me. I don't really know how to do it.